My parents called me worthless trash at my daughter's graduation dinner. 3 years later, my 8-year-old revealed the real reason they destroyed my life that night. What she told me changed everything I thought I knew about family, loyalty, and the price of standing up for what's right. Before we jump back in, tell us where you're tuning in from, and if this story touches you, make sure you're subscribed, because tomorrow, I've saved something extra special for you. The burgundy tablecloth at Romano's Italian restaurant should have been the backdrop for celebration. Instead, it became the stage for the most devastating family confrontation of my life. The restaurant hummed with the comfortable chatter of other families enjoying milestone moments, their laughter creating a cruel contrast to the tension radiating from our corner table. My name is Rebecca Martinez, and I had spent 28 years believing that family meant unconditional love and support. That belief shattered completely during what was supposed to be a celebration dinner for my daughter Emma's kindergarten graduation. The evening that began with pride and anticipation ended with words that would echo in my mind for years. "You're nothing but trash, Rebecca. You always have been, and you always will be." Those words came from my mother, Patricia Hernandez, delivered with the kind of cold precision that only family members can achieve when they want to inflict maximum damage. My father, Robert, sat beside her nodding in agreement, his silence serving as validation for her cruelty. The restaurant's warm lighting cast shadows across their faces that seemed to emphasize the disgust in their expressions as they looked at me. Emma, my 6-year-old daughter, sat frozen in her miniature graduation cap, her dark eyes wide with confusion as she watched her grandmother demolish her mother with surgical precision. The cap that had represented achievement and promise just hours earlier now seemed like a mockery, as my parents systematically destroyed everything I thought I understood about our family relationships. The confrontation had erupted over what seemed like an innocent conversation about Emma's future educational plans. I had mentioned my intention to enroll her in the accelerated learning program at Riverside Elementary, a decision that reflected both my belief in her capabilities and my commitment to providing opportunities that had been denied to me during my own childhood. My parents' reaction was immediate and vicious. They accused me of being pretentious, of trying to make Emma think she was better than her family, of pursuing educational opportunities that were inappropriate for children from our background. Their criticism escalated quickly, from disagreement about schooling choices to a comprehensive character assassination that left no aspect of my life untouched. The attack encompassed my career as a medical technician, which they dismissed as meaningless despite the 4 years of education and certification required to achieve my position. They criticized my decision to raise Emma as a single mother, suggesting that my inability to maintain a relationship with Emma's father demonstrated fundamental character flaws that would inevitably damage my daughter's development. Most painfully, they questioned my fitness as a mother, suggesting that Emma would be better served living with them rather than being raised by someone whose judgment they considered fundamentally flawed. The suggestion that I was an inadequate parent struck at the core of my identity and purpose, transforming what had been personal criticism into an existential threat to the most important relationship in my life. The restaurant setting amplified the humiliation of their assault. Other diners began to notice the raised voices and emotional intensity emanating from our table, their curious glances adding public shame to private devastation. The waitstaff hovered nervously, uncertain whether to intervene or maintain professional distance while a family destroyed itself over linguine and garlic bread. Emma's presence made the situation particularly cruel. She was experiencing her first major academic milestone, a moment that should have been filled with encouragement and celebration. Instead, she was witnessing the adults who were supposed to provide security and stability engage in verbal warfare that threatened the foundations of her small world. I attempted to de-escalate the confrontation multiple times, suggesting that we continue the discussion privately or postpone it entirely in consideration of Emma's presence and the public setting. These efforts only intensified my parents' anger, as they interpreted my desire for privacy as evidence of shame about their criticism and my request to consider Emma's feelings as manipulation designed to avoid accountability. The defining moment came when my mother stood from her chair, her voice carrying across the restaurant as she delivered her final verdict on my character and worth. The words "nothing but trash" reverberated through the dining room, creating a silence that seemed to encompass not just our table but the entire establishment. The phrase carried particular weight because it echoed criticisms from my childhood, when academic struggles and social awkwardness had prompted similar assessments of my fundamental value as a person. My father's contribution to the assault took a different form, but proved equally devastating. He questioned my financial management, suggesting that my modest apartment and carefully budgeted lifestyle demonstrated an inability to provide adequately for Emma's needs. He implied that my college education had been a waste of resources that could have been better invested in practical skills training that matched my intellectual limitations. The irony of these criticisms was not lost on me, even in the midst of emotional devastation. I had worked multiple jobs while completing my medical technology certification, often studying while Emma played nearby, determined to create opportunities that previous generations of our family had never possessed. The education and career they were dismissing represented years of sacrifice and persistence, motivated entirely by my desire to provide Emma with security and possibilities. Their assault extended beyond personal criticism to include threats about future family relationships. They suggested that continued pursuit of what they considered inappropriate ambitions for Emma would result in permanent estrangement from extended family members who shared their perspective on appropriate aspirations for children from our background. The threat of family isolation was particularly powerful because it touched on my deepest fears about raising Emma without the support network that intact families typically provide. As a single mother working full-time while managing household responsibilities, I relied heavily on occasional assistance from family members for childcare and emotional support during difficult periods. The restaurant manager eventually approached our table, politely but firmly requesting that we either lower our voices or consider continuing our discussion elsewhere. The intervention provided an opportunity to escape the public humiliation, but it also marked the point at which private family conflict had become a public spectacle that would be remembered by strangers who had witnessed our dysfunction. I gathered Emma and left the restaurant while my parents remained seated, apparently satisfied that their message had been delivered with sufficient force to achieve its intended impact. The drive home occurred in complete silence, with Emma staring out the window while I struggled to process what had happened and develop an appropriate response to her inevitable questions about the evening's events. The apartment that had always represented security and independence suddenly felt inadequate and temporary. Emma's kindergarten graduation certificate, which I had planned to frame and display prominently, seemed to mock my aspirations for her future. The books and educational materials that filled our living room appeared pretentious rather than supportive of learning and growth. That night, after Emma had fallen asleep, I sat at our small kitchen table surrounded by the remnants of the life I had built through determination and sacrifice. The medical technology textbooks that had required countless hours of study while balancing work and motherhood responsibilities. The carefully maintained budget spreadsheets that ensured Emma's needs were met, despite my modest income. The educational toys and books purchased instead of personal luxuries to support her intellectual development. Everything that had represented progress and hope suddenly seemed insufficient when viewed through the lens of my parents' comprehensive rejection. Their words had transformed achievements into inadequacies and aspirations, into evidence of delusional thinking about my capabilities and Emma's potential. The emotional impact of the confrontation extended beyond immediate hurt feelings to encompass fundamental questions about identity and purpose. If the people who had known me longest and most intimately considered me fundamentally flawed, perhaps their assessment contained truth that I had been too proud or deluded to acknowledge. The accusation that I was trash carried particular power because it connected to childhood experiences of academic struggle and social isolation that had made me question my worth and potential. Despite years of subsequent achievement and growth, those early experiences of inadequacy remained accessible to criticism that confirmed rather than challenged negative self-perceptions. Sleep proved impossible as I replayed the evening's events, searching for understanding of how a celebration had transformed into character assassination. I analyzed my own behavior for provocations that might have justified their response, wondering if my pride in Emma's achievements or enthusiasm about her educational opportunities had somehow triggered reactions that reflected deeper family dynamics I had failed to understand. The most painful aspect of the confrontation was the realization that my parents' assessment of my worth was not based on recent actions or decisions, but on fundamental beliefs about my character that had apparently persisted despite evidence of growth and achievement. Their criticism suggested that no amount of education, career success, or effective parenting would alter their perception of my essential inadequacy. Emma's presence during the assault created additional layers of concern beyond personal hurt. She had witnessed the adults who were supposed to provide security and guidance engage in verbal warfare that called into question the stability of her world. The impact on her understanding of family relationships and her own security could potentially extend far beyond the immediate trauma of witnessing the confrontation. The evening represented a breaking point not just in family relationships but in my understanding of how individual achievement and family acceptance intersect. I had assumed that success in education and career would eventually earn recognition and support from family members who had initially doubted my potential. Instead, achievement seemed to have increased rather than decreased their criticism and rejection. As dawn broke through our apartment windows, illuminating the evidence of the life I had built through persistence and sacrifice, I realized that the previous evening had forced a choice between family approval and personal integrity. My parents had made clear that acceptance would require abandoning aspirations for both Emma and myself that they considered inappropriate for people from our background. The choice was actually no choice at all. Emma's potential would not be limited by others' assumptions about what children from our family could achieve. Her kindergarten graduation represented the beginning of educational opportunities that would be pursued regardless of family criticism or rejection. The path forward would be more difficult without family support, but it would be authentic to my values and protective of Emma's future possibilities. Preparing and narrating this story took us a lot of time, so if you are enjoying it, subscribe to our channel. It means a lot to us. Now, back to the story. The breaking point had revealed that some relationships require sacrificing personal growth to maintain connection, while others provide the foundation for continued development and achievement. My parents had forced clarity about which category our relationship represented, and that clarity would guide every decision about family involvement in our lives moving forward. The words "nothing but trash" would echo in my memory for years to come, but they would serve as motivation rather than limitation. Emma would grow up understanding that worth is determined by character and effort, rather than family assessments or social expectations. The breaking point that had felt like destruction would ultimately become the foundation for reconstruction, based on authentic values, rather than imposed limitations. The weeks following the restaurant confrontation became a masterclass in rebuilding self-worth, while maintaining the facade of normalcy that Emma's well-being required. Every morning brought the dual challenge of processing my own emotional devastation while ensuring that my 6-year-old daughter experienced stability and security, despite the family chaos that threatened to undermine her world. The practical implications of my parents' rejection manifested immediately. The informal childcare arrangements that had allowed me to work overtime shifts at Memorial Hospital disappeared overnight. Patricia and Robert had previously provided backup support during medical emergencies or unexpected schedule changes, filling gaps that my modest income could not address through professional childcare services. Their absence forced immediate restructuring of every aspect of our daily routine. I researched after-school programs that could accommodate my variable hospital schedule, calculated the financial impact of professional childcare on our already tight budget, and developed contingency plans for the inevitable situations where Emma would need supervision but no formal options existed. The emotional challenge proved more complex than the logistical adjustments. Emma's questions about the restaurant incident required careful navigation between honesty about family conflict and protection of her relationship with grandparents who had been significant figures in her life. Her 6-year-old understanding of family dynamics could not encompass the adult complexities that had led to such devastating rejection. I established a framework for discussing the situation that acknowledged disagreement without vilifying my parents or suggesting that Emma bore any responsibility for the conflict. These conversations emphasized that adults sometimes have different opinions about important decisions, that disagreement does not necessarily reflect anyone's fault, and that our immediate family unit remained stable despite changes in extended family relationships. The framework protected Emma from feeling responsible for family discord, while establishing boundaries around what information required her attention versus what represented adult concerns that should not burden children. This distinction became increasingly important as the long-term implications of family estrangement affected various aspects of our lives. Dr. Sarah Kim, a colleague at Memorial Hospital, became an unexpected source of support during this period. She noticed changes in my demeanor and work performance that reflected the stress of managing single motherhood without family support. Her inquiry about my well-being led to conversations that provided both emotional support and practical advice from someone who had successfully navigated similar challenges. Dr. Kim's perspective as a Korean immigrant who had pursued medical education despite family skepticism offered valuable insights about balancing respect for family opinion with commitment to personal values and goals. Her experience demonstrated that family disapproval could coexist with individual achievement, and that success often required accepting temporary isolation from people whose approval seemed essential but ultimately proved conditional. These conversations introduced concepts that had not occurred to me during the immediate aftermath of the restaurant confrontation. The possibility that my parents' criticism reflected their own limitations rather than accurate assessment of my capabilities. The recognition that family members could love someone while simultaneously undermining their growth and potential. The understanding that protecting Emma's opportunities might require accepting permanent changes in extended family relationships. Dr. Kim also provided practical guidance about navigating professional advancement while managing single motherhood responsibilities. She shared strategies for pursuing continuing education opportunities, building professional networks that could support career development, and identifying mentorship relationships that could substitute for absent family guidance. Her advice led to enrollment in advanced certification courses that could improve both my skills and earning potential. The phlebotomy specialist certification required evening classes and weekend clinical practice, demanding careful coordination with Emma's schedule and significant financial investment in tuition and materials. The decision to pursue additional education represented a direct response to my parents' assertion that my aspirations exceeded my capabilities. Rather than accepting their assessment of my limitations, I chose to test those boundaries through systematic skill development that would provide objective evidence of my potential. The evening classes occurred twice weekly at Metro Community College, requiring arrangements for Emma's supervision that stretched both our budget and my network of available support. Mrs. Chen, our elderly neighbor, agreed to provide childcare during class hours in exchange for assistance with grocery shopping and household tasks that her arthritis made difficult. This arrangement created the foundation for a mutually beneficial relationship that extended beyond childcare logistics. Mrs. Chen's experience as a widow who had raised 3 children while working full-time provided wisdom and perspective about managing the challenges of single parenthood. Her encouragement and practical advice filled some of the emotional void created by my parents' rejection. Emma's adjustment to increased time with Mrs. Chen revealed resilience and adaptability that exceeded my expectations for a 6-year-old processing significant family changes. She developed genuine affection for our neighbor and began incorporating lessons about Chinese culture and cooking into her daily conversation and play activities. The expanded social network that emerged from necessity proved more supportive and nurturing than the family relationships that had been lost. Mrs. Chen, Dr. Kim, and several classmates from the certification program created an informal community that celebrated achievements, provided assistance during difficult periods, and offered perspectives that encouraged continued growth rather than acceptance of limitations. The certification coursework challenged my understanding of medical technology while providing concrete evidence of intellectual capabilities that family criticism had called into question. Complex procedures that initially seemed beyond my comprehension became routine through systematic study and persistent practice. Laboratory techniques that required precision and analytical thinking demonstrated competencies that contradicted assertions about my fundamental inadequacy. The clinical practice component of the certification program provided opportunities to work with patients whose health challenges dwarfed my family relationship difficulties. Interacting with individuals facing serious medical conditions, while maintaining hope and determination, offered perspective about the relative significance of various life stresses and the importance of focusing energy on controllable factors rather than unchangeable circumstances. These patient interactions reinforced my understanding that personal worth derives from character and contribution rather than family assessment or social approval. Patients who expressed gratitude for competent and compassionate medical care provided validation that measured effectiveness rather than opinions about appropriate aspirations for people from particular backgrounds. The most significant personal growth occurred through managing the competing demands of full-time employment, evening education, single motherhood, and the emotional processing required to recover from family rejection. The successful coordination of these responsibilities demonstrated organizational and emotional capabilities that had developed through necessity rather than formal training. Emma's academic performance during this period provided evidence that family stability could be maintained despite the absence of extended family support. Her kindergarten teacher reported consistent achievement, positive social interactions, and emotional adjustment that suggested our home environment remained secure despite external challenges. The teacher's feedback became particularly important given my parents' assertions that my decisions would negatively impact Emma's development. Objective assessment from education professionals who observed Emma daily provided counter-evidence to family predictions about the consequences of pursuing goals they considered inappropriate. The financial strain of certification program tuition required creative budgeting that eliminated all non-essential expenses while maintaining Emma's access to educational materials and extracurricular activities that supported her development. This period taught valuable lessons about distinguishing between wants and needs, finding creative solutions to resource constraints, and maintaining priorities during periods of financial stress. The budgeting discipline developed during this time created habits that would support future financial goals, while demonstrating that modest income did not necessarily prevent investment in education and skill development. The key was systematic planning and willingness to sacrifice immediate gratification for long-term advancement opportunities. Several months into the certification program, my performance on practical examinations consistently ranked among the top students in the class. This achievement provided objective validation of learning ability and professional competence that family criticism had called into question. The recognition from instructors and classmates offered external confirmation of capabilities that I had begun to doubt following the restaurant confrontation. The program's completion in December represented a significant milestone that had been achieved despite family rejection and the absence of traditional support systems. The certification ceremony provided an opportunity to celebrate achievement with Emma, Mrs. Chen, and Dr. Kim, creating new traditions based on earned accomplishment rather than inherited obligation. Emma's pride in my educational achievement demonstrated that children could develop understanding of persistence and goal achievement through observing adult behavior rather than requiring explicit instruction about work ethic and determination. Her celebration of my success provided motivation for continued pursuit of goals that would model lifelong learning and growth. The immediate practical benefit of advanced certification was qualification for higher-level positions at Memorial Hospital that offered increased responsibility and compensation. The promotion to senior medical technician included salary improvement that reduced financial stress, while providing professional recognition that validated the investment in additional education. The career advancement also created opportunities for mentoring newer employees, developing leadership skills that had not been tested in previous positions. The experience of providing guidance and support to others highlighted capabilities that extended beyond technical competence to include communication and development skills that could support future advancement. The most profound realization during this period was that family rejection, while emotionally devastating, had created space for relationships and opportunities that might not have emerged under different circumstances. The necessity of building new support networks had led to connections with people whose encouragement and assistance proved more reliable than traditional family obligations. The foundation of struggle established during these months created resilience and self-reliance that would prove essential for future challenges. The experience of succeeding despite family disapproval and limited resources demonstrated that achievement was possible through systematic effort and strategic relationship building, regardless of background circumstances or family support. Emma's adaptation to our new reality provided evidence that children could thrive in single-parent households where values and priorities were clearly defined and consistently implemented. Her continued academic success and emotional stability suggested that family dysfunction in previous generations did not necessarily predict similar outcomes for future generations. The period concluded with recognition that while family relationships remained important, they could not be allowed to limit individual potential or compromise children's opportunities. The foundation built through struggle had created strength and capability that would support whatever challenges lay ahead, whether they involved family reconciliation or permanent estrangement from people whose love had proven conditional on conformity to their expectations and limitations. The promotion to senior medical technician opened doors that had previously remained invisible, transforming what had begun as defensive career advancement into genuine professional opportunity. The position required supervising laboratory operations during evening shifts, managing quality control protocols, and training newer technicians in procedures that demanded both technical precision and patient safety awareness. My new responsibilities included coordinating with physicians on complex cases, interpreting laboratory results that influenced critical treatment decisions, and ensuring compliance with regulatory standards that governed medical testing facilities. The expanded scope of authority represented recognition of competence that extended far beyond the basic technical skills my parents had dismissed as meaningless employment. Dr. Williams, the chief laboratory director, scheduled our first formal review meeting 6 weeks after my promotion. The conversation revealed opportunities for advancement that had not been discussed during the hiring process, possibilities that emerged from demonstrated performance rather than initial qualifications or family connections. The hospital was implementing a comprehensive quality improvement initiative that required coordination between laboratory services and other departments. Dr. Williams explained that the project needed someone with technical expertise, leadership capabilities, and communication skills sufficient to work with physicians, administrators, and support staff from diverse professional backgrounds. The position would involve analyzing current laboratory protocols, identifying inefficiencies that affected patient care or operational costs, and developing implementation strategies for improvements that could be sustained long-term. Success in this role could lead to permanent advancement to Laboratory Operations Coordinator, a position that included substantial salary increase and management responsibilities across multiple departments. The opportunity represented exactly the kind of professional growth that my parents had characterized as unrealistic for someone from our family background. The irony was not lost on me that their criticism had motivated the education and skill development that now qualified me for opportunities they had declared impossible. I accepted the project assignment immediately, recognizing that the chance to demonstrate capabilities beyond routine technical tasks could transform my career trajectory. The additional responsibilities would require careful coordination with Emma's schedule, but the potential benefits justified the temporary increase in complexity and stress. The quality improvement project began with comprehensive analysis of current laboratory operations, including workflow patterns, equipment utilization, staffing allocation, and communication protocols between laboratory staff and clinical departments. The systematic review revealed inefficiencies that had developed gradually over time and were now accepted as normal operational constraints. One significant discovery involved the turnaround time for critical laboratory results that influenced emergency treatment decisions. The current system required multiple manual verification steps that delayed result reporting without providing meaningful quality assurance benefits. Streamlining these protocols could improve patient outcomes while reducing costs associated with extended emergency department stays. Another area for improvement involved coordination between laboratory schedules and surgical procedures that required specific testing protocols. Poor communication often resulted in delayed surgeries or rushed testing that increased stress for both patients and medical staff. Better scheduling integration could eliminate these problems while improving patient experience and operational efficiency. The analysis phase required extensive consultation with staff members from various departments, providing exposure to hospital operations beyond laboratory services. These conversations revealed that many professionals had identified similar inefficiencies but lacked authority or resources to implement solutions that crossed departmental boundaries. Dr. Martinez, the emergency department director, became particularly supportive of the quality improvement initiative. She explained that laboratory delays frequently created bottlenecks that affected patient care throughout the emergency department, and that even modest improvements in turnaround times could substantially improve treatment outcomes for critical cases. Her enthusiasm for the project led to collaboration opportunities that extended beyond the original scope of the Quality Improvement Initiative. Dr. Martinez invited me to participate in emergency department staff meetings where laboratory interface issues were discussed, providing exposure to clinical decision-making processes that depended on accurate and timely testing results. These meetings introduced me to hospital administration personnel who were responsible for strategic planning and resource allocation decisions. The conversations revealed that quality improvement initiatives were high priorities for hospital leadership, and that successful project outcomes could lead to expanded responsibilities in operational management roles. Administrator Jennifer Walsh explained that hospitals were increasingly seeking professionals who could bridge technical expertise and administrative responsibilities, particularly in areas where clinical operations intersected with quality assurance and regulatory compliance requirements. The combination of technical background and demonstrated project management capabilities could qualify for advancement opportunities that had not previously been available to laboratory personnel. The prospect of transitioning from technical work to administrative responsibilities represented a career path that neither my parents nor I had previously considered possible. The realization that professional advancement could occur through performance demonstration rather than family connections or advanced degrees challenged assumptions about what constituted realistic career aspirations. Meanwhile, Emma's academic performance continued to exceed expectations despite the family changes that had altered our support system. Her first-grade teacher, Mrs. Patterson, requested a conference to discuss Emma's exceptional progress and potential enrollment in the gifted education program that served students with advanced learning capabilities. The teacher's assessment validated my decision to pursue educational opportunities that my parents had characterized as inappropriate for children from our background. Emma's standardized testing scores placed her in the 95th percentile for reading comprehension and mathematical reasoning, suggesting intellectual capabilities that warranted specialized educational programming. Mrs. Patterson explained that the gifted program provided accelerated learning opportunities, enrichment activities, and peer interaction with other students who demonstrated similar academic potential. Participation would require additional time commitment for special projects and field trips, but could significantly enhance Emma's educational experience and preparation for future academic challenges. The recommendation for gifted program placement represented vindication of my belief in Emma's potential and my commitment to providing opportunities that supported her development. The objective assessment from education professionals contradicted my parents' assertions about appropriate expectations for children from our family background. I enrolled Emma in the program immediately, recognizing that the advanced educational opportunities aligned perfectly with my goals of ensuring that her potential would not be limited by others' assumptions about what children from our family could achieve. The decision also demonstrated to Emma that achievement was valued and supported regardless of family criticism or external skepticism. The Quality Improvement Project at Memorial Hospital progressed through implementation phases that tested both technical analysis skills and change management capabilities. Introducing new protocols required training staff members who had become comfortable with existing procedures, addressing resistance that emerged from various sources including workload concerns and skepticism about the benefits of proposed changes. The success of initial protocol modifications provided evidence that systematic analysis could produce measurable improvements in both patient outcomes and operational efficiency. Emergency department physicians reported reduced waiting times for critical laboratory results, while laboratory staff noted decreased stress levels associated with rush processing requests. Dr. Williams scheduled progress review meetings that revealed his satisfaction with both project outcomes and my performance in managing complex change initiatives. The discussions increasingly focused on long-term career development opportunities rather than just current project responsibilities. He explained that my combination of technical expertise, analytical capabilities, and demonstrated leadership skills positioned me well for advancement to positions that traditionally required advanced degrees or extensive management experience. The hospital's commitment to promoting from within meant that exceptional performance could substitute for formal qualifications in many administrative roles. The conversation included specific discussion of the laboratory operations coordinator position that would become available within 6 months due to a planned retirement. The role involved oversight of all laboratory services, budget management, regulatory compliance, and strategic planning for technology upgrades and service expansion. The position represented a substantial increase in both responsibility and compensation, with salary levels that would provide significant improvement in financial security for Emma and myself. More importantly, the advancement would demonstrate that professional growth was possible through competence and dedication, rather than family connections or educational credentials that had been financially inaccessible. Dr. Williams suggested that successful completion of the quality improvement project, combined with pursuit of additional management training, would provide strong qualifications for the coordinator position. He recommended enrollment in healthcare administration courses that were available through evening programs at local universities. The recommendation for additional education represented an opportunity to further validate my learning capabilities while developing skills specifically relevant to healthcare management responsibilities. The courses would require significant time investment and financial commitment, but the potential return through career advancement justified the sacrifice. Emma's continued success in the gifted program provided additional motivation for pursuing professional opportunities that would create financial stability and serve as positive role models for achievement through effort and persistence. Her teacher reported that she was thriving in the more challenging academic environment and developing friendships with peers who shared her intellectual curiosity and learning motivation. The combination of professional advancement opportunities and Emma's educational success created a foundation for future growth that contradicted every prediction my parents had made about the consequences of pursuing goals they considered inappropriate. The evidence was mounting that their assessment of our capabilities and potential had been fundamentally incorrect. The most significant realization during this period was that opportunity often emerged from the intersection of preparation, performance, and timing, rather than from family connections or predetermined advantages. The technical skills developed through certification programs, the leadership capabilities revealed through project management, and the professional relationships built through competent service had created possibilities that were entirely independent of family support or approval. The quality improvement project neared completion with documented results that exceeded initial expectations for both patient care improvements and cost reduction benefits. The success attracted attention from hospital administrators who were responsible for implementing similar initiatives throughout the healthcare system. Regional Director Susan Chen scheduled a meeting to discuss potential expansion of quality improvement responsibilities to other facilities within the healthcare network. The conversation revealed opportunities for advancement that could involve consulting responsibilities, project management across multiple locations, and eventual transition to executive-level positions in healthcare administration. The prospect of system-wide responsibilities represented career advancement that extended far beyond the local hospital environment. The opportunity would require relocation flexibility and extended travel commitments, but could provide experience and credentials that would support long-term professional goals at the highest levels of healthcare management. Emma's involvement in these discussions demonstrated her maturity and adaptability regarding potential changes that could affect our living situation and her educational continuity. Her enthusiasm for new experiences and confidence in her ability to succeed in different environments provided additional evidence of the security and resilience that had developed despite family dysfunction and criticism. The first glimpse of opportunity had revealed itself not as a single dramatic opening, but as the gradual convergence of systematic preparation, demonstrated competence, and strategic relationship building. The foundation established through struggle and skill development was beginning to support possibilities that neither my parents nor I had previously imagined could emerge from our circumstances and background. The healthcare administration courses at Metro University represented more than additional education. They provided a strategic pathway toward professional advancement that could not be limited by others' perceptions of appropriate aspirations. The evening program accommodated working professionals while maintaining academic rigor that challenged students to develop capabilities beyond their current responsibilities and experience. The decision to pursue formal management education required careful financial planning and schedule coordination that would remain invisible to colleagues who might question my motivations, or family members who had already expressed disapproval of educational pursuits they considered pretentious. The discretion was necessary to protect both my current position and future opportunities from premature evaluation or sabotage. Registration for the Healthcare Management Certificate program occurred during my lunch break at Memorial Hospital. Completing enrollment forms in my car, to avoid curious questions from coworkers who might interpret additional education as dissatisfaction with current responsibilities or inappropriate ambition for someone in a technical position. The program required completion of 6 courses over 18 months, including healthcare finance, operations management, strategic planning, human resources, quality assurance, and healthcare law. Each course met 1 evening per week for 3 hours, demanding systematic time management that would accommodate professional responsibilities, single motherhood duties, and intensive academic work. Emma's cooperation became essential for successful completion of the program. At 7 years old, she demonstrated remarkable understanding of the importance of education and willingness to adapt her evening routine to support my class schedule. Mrs. Chen continued providing childcare during class hours, while Emma completed homework and participated in quiet activities that allowed me to study immediately after returning home. The first course, Healthcare Finance, challenged my understanding of budget management, cost analysis, and resource allocation in medical settings. The complexity exceeded anything required for technical laboratory work, demanding mastery of accounting principles, statistical analysis, and financial modeling that influenced major institutional decisions. Professor David Park brought 15 years of hospital administration experience to classroom instruction, providing real-world context for theoretical concepts through case studies and practical exercises. His approach emphasized application of financial principles to actual healthcare scenarios, rather than abstract academic exercises that lacked practical relevance. The coursework revealed the sophisticated analytical thinking required for healthcare administration roles. Budget development required understanding of patient volume projections, regulatory compliance costs, technology upgrade investments, and staffing optimization strategies that balanced quality care with operational efficiency. Financial analysis assignments demanded proficiency with spreadsheet software, statistical calculations, and presentation skills that could communicate complex information to diverse audiences, including physicians, administrators, and board members, with varying levels of financial expertise. The most challenging aspect involved developing strategic recommendations based on incomplete information and competing priorities that reflected realistic constraints faced by healthcare administrators. These exercises required integrating financial analysis with operational knowledge and regulatory requirements to produce viable solutions for complex institutional challenges. My laboratory experience provided unexpected advantages in healthcare finance coursework. Understanding of testing protocols, equipment costs, and staffing requirements created practical context for theoretical concepts, while enabling more accurate analysis of operational efficiency opportunities than classmates without direct healthcare experience possessed. The operations management course focused on systematic approaches to workflow optimization, quality improvement, and resource utilization that directly complemented the quality improvement project responsibilities at Memorial Hospital. Academic learning reinforced practical experience while providing frameworks for analyzing challenges and developing solutions. Professor Angela Roberts emphasized evidence-based management practices that required data collection, statistical analysis, and measurable outcome assessment for evaluating operational changes. Her approach aligned perfectly with the systematic methodology I had developed for laboratory quality improvement initiatives. Class discussions with fellow students revealed diverse perspectives on healthcare operations challenges, including insights from nurses, physical therapists, and administrative staff who brought different departmental experiences to collaborative problem-solving exercises. The networking opportunities among classmates created professional relationships that extended beyond academic requirements. Several students held management positions at other healthcare facilities, providing access to industry knowledge and potential collaboration opportunities that could support future career advancement. Strategic planning coursework addressed long-term organizational development, market analysis, and competitive positioning strategies that healthcare institutions use to ensure sustainability and growth in rapidly changing regulatory and economic environments. The complexity demanded understanding of demographics, technology trends, and policy implications that influenced healthcare delivery over 5 to 10-year periods. Professor Michael Chen required development of comprehensive strategic plans for hypothetical healthcare organizations, including market assessment, competitive analysis, financial projections, and implementation timelines that demonstrated mastery of planning methodologies and analytical frameworks. The assignments necessitated research beyond classroom materials, including industry reports, regulatory updates, and demographic studies that provided context for strategic decision-making. This research developed information literacy skills and familiarity with professional resources that would prove essential for administrative responsibilities. Human resources coursework addressed employee recruitment, performance management, training development, and regulatory compliance issues specific to healthcare environments. The content proved particularly relevant given my increasing supervisory responsibilities at Memorial Hospital and potential advancement to positions requiring staff management. Professor Lisa Thompson emphasized the unique challenges of healthcare human resources, including credentialing requirements, continuing education mandates, and workplace safety considerations that distinguished medical facilities from other employment environments. Case studies involving employee relations issues, disciplinary procedures, and team development strategies provided frameworks for handling personnel challenges that could arise in administrative roles. The coursework developed understanding of legal requirements and best practices for creating productive workplace environments. Quality assurance education addressed systematic approaches to patient safety, regulatory compliance, and continuous improvement processes that ensured healthcare organizations met professional standards and accreditation requirements. The content directly related to my laboratory quality improvement experience, while expanding understanding of institution-wide quality management. Professor Robert Kim brought extensive experience from hospital accreditation processes, providing insider perspectives on regulatory expectations and effective compliance strategies. His instruction emphasized proactive quality management rather than reactive responses to identified deficiencies. Healthcare law coursework addressed regulatory frameworks, liability issues, and compliance requirements that governed healthcare operations. The complexity revealed the sophisticated legal knowledge required for administrative decision-making and risk management in medical environments. Professor Jennifer Walsh covered patient privacy regulations, employment law, contract management, and institutional liability issues that influenced daily operational decisions. Understanding of legal requirements became essential for avoiding costly compliance failures and litigation risks. The academic workload required development of study strategies that maximized learning efficiency within limited time availability. I established consistent study schedules that utilized commute time, lunch breaks, and late evening hours for reading assignments and examination preparation. Note-taking systems organized course materials for easy reference during examinations and practical application to workplace challenges. Digital organization tools enabled access to academic resources during hospital breaks, when immediate reference to specific concepts could enhance decision-making or problem-solving activities. Study groups with classmates provided collaborative learning opportunities that reinforced difficult concepts while building professional relationships with peers who shared similar career advancement goals. These informal networks created support systems that extended beyond academic requirements to include career advice and job opportunity sharing. The most significant challenge involved maintaining academic performance standards while managing increased responsibilities from the Quality Improvement Project at Memorial Hospital. The dual demands tested time management skills and created pressure to excel in both areas simultaneously. Emma's academic performance in the Gifted Education Program provided additional motivation for completing the Healthcare Administration Certificate with distinction. Her continued success demonstrated that children could thrive when parents pursued their own growth and development rather than sacrificing personal advancement for perceived family obligations. Mrs. Chen's support during this period proved invaluable for maintaining the complex schedule that accommodated work responsibilities, academic requirements, and family obligations. Her encouragement and practical assistance enabled completion of certificate requirements without compromising Emma's care or my hospital performance. The Laboratory Quality Improvement Project generated measurable results that validated academic learning through practical application. Reduced turnaround times for critical testing improved patient outcomes, while demonstrating cost savings that hospital administrators recognized as evidence of management potential. Dr. Williams noted improvements in departmental efficiency and began including me in strategic planning meetings that addressed long-term laboratory development goals. These expanded responsibilities provided real-world application opportunities for strategic planning concepts learned in certificate coursework. The intersection of academic learning and practical experience created comprehensive understanding of healthcare administration that exceeded what either component could have provided independently. Theoretical frameworks gained relevance through workplace application, while practical challenges benefited from systematic analytical approaches learned in coursework. Midway through the certificate program, Regional Director Susan Chen scheduled additional meetings to discuss system-wide quality improvement initiatives that could utilize my developing expertise in both technical operations and administrative management. The conversations revealed advancement opportunities that aligned perfectly with certificate program learning objectives. The discussions included specific mention of positions that required healthcare administration credentials, combined with technical experience, creating career pathways that neither my parents nor I had previously understood existed within medical organizations. The secret nature of skill development protected these emerging opportunities from premature disclosure or external evaluation that could have undermined progress. Family members who had criticized my educational pursuits remained unaware of advanced training that was creating qualifications for positions they would have declared impossible. Completion of individual courses provided incremental validation of learning capabilities and management potential. Grades consistently ranked among the top performers in each class, demonstrating academic achievement that complemented practical success and quality improvement responsibilities. The certificate program neared completion, with comprehensive understanding of healthcare administration principles that transformed my perspective on institutional operations and strategic decision-making. The education provided tools for analyzing complex organizational challenges and developing solutions that balanced multiple competing priorities and stakeholder interests. The completion of my healthcare management certificate program coincided with an unexpected opportunity that would fundamentally alter my understanding of professional advancement and leadership development. The timing seemed almost orchestrated, though in reality it represented the convergence of systematic preparation with circumstances that created space for mentorship relationships to emerge naturally. Dr. Margaret Foster arrived at Memorial Hospital as the newly appointed Vice President of Clinical Operations, bringing 15 years of experience from prestigious medical centers across the Northeast. Her reputation preceded her through industry publications and conference presentations that had established her as an innovative leader in healthcare quality improvement and operational efficiency. The hospital administration had recruited Dr. Foster specifically to oversee system-wide implementation of evidence-based management practices that would position Memorial Hospital as a regional leader in patient outcomes and operational excellence. Her mandate included comprehensive assessment of current operations and development of strategic initiatives that would ensure long-term competitive advantage. My initial encounter with Dr. Foster occurred during a department heads meeting where I was presenting quarterly results from the Laboratory Quality Improvement Project. The presentation documented measurable improvements in turnaround times, cost reductions, and patient satisfaction scores that had resulted from systematic protocol modifications and staff training initiatives. Dr. Foster's questions during the presentation revealed depth of understanding about quality improvement methodologies that exceeded typical administrative interest in project outcomes. She inquired about statistical analysis techniques, control group comparisons, and sustainability measures that demonstrated sophisticated knowledge of research design and implementation science. Her follow-up questions focused on the systematic approach I had used for identifying improvement opportunities, engaging staff in change processes, and measuring outcomes that validated effectiveness. The level of detail she requested suggested genuine interest in methodology rather than superficial awareness of project results. Following the presentation, Dr. Foster requested a private meeting to discuss the quality improvement project in greater depth. The conversation revealed her background in organizational psychology and operations research, fields that provided scientific frameworks for understanding how systematic changes could produce measurable improvements in complex institutional environments. Dr. Foster explained that effective healthcare administration required integration of clinical knowledge, management theory, and research methodology to develop evidence-based solutions for operational challenges. Her approach emphasized systematic analysis rather than intuitive decision-making, using data collection and statistical evaluation to guide strategic choices. The discussion revealed striking parallels between her management philosophy and the analytical approaches I had developed through laboratory work and academic coursework. The systematic methodology that had guided quality improvement initiatives aligned closely with evidence-based practices she advocated for healthcare administration. Dr. Foster's assessment of my project methodology included specific recognition of elements that demonstrated advanced understanding of change management principles. She noted the attention to stakeholder engagement, the systematic measurement of outcomes, and the sustainability planning that ensured improvements would continue beyond initial implementation phases. Her feedback provided validation from a senior healthcare executive whose expertise and experience commanded respect throughout the industry. The recognition came from someone whose professional judgment was informed by extensive experience with quality improvement initiatives at major medical institutions. During our second meeting, Dr. Foster shared her observation that effective healthcare leaders often emerged from technical backgrounds rather than traditional management training. She explained that understanding of clinical operations provided essential context for administrative decisions that could not be acquired through academic study alone. Her perspective challenged conventional assumptions about career pathways in healthcare administration. While formal education remained important, she emphasized that technical expertise combined with analytical thinking and leadership capabilities often produced more effective administrators than traditional business backgrounds. Dr. Foster described her own career progression from clinical laboratory scientist to hospital executive, a pathway that had required continuous learning and strategic skill development throughout various transitional phases. Her experience demonstrated that advancement was possible for technical professionals who systematically prepared for expanding responsibilities. The parallels between her background and my current situation were remarkable. She had begun her career in laboratory services, pursued additional education while working full-time, and gradually assumed responsibilities that demonstrated management potential before transitioning to formal administrative roles. Her willingness to share detailed career information suggested recognition of similarities between our professional development paths. The conversation felt less like traditional networking and more like guidance from someone who understood the specific challenges and opportunities associated with transitioning from technical work to administrative leadership. Dr. Foster's third scheduled meeting included discussion of upcoming organizational changes that would create advancement opportunities for staff members who demonstrated readiness for expanded responsibilities. The conversation revealed her intention to identify and develop internal talent rather than exclusively recruiting external candidates for management positions. She explained that healthcare organizations benefited from promoting employees who understood institutional culture, operational realities, and existing relationships that influenced effective change implementation. Internal advancement also provided career development opportunities that enhanced employee retention and organizational stability. The discussion included specific mention of a newly created position, Director of Quality and Performance Improvement, which would coordinate quality initiatives across all hospital departments while reporting directly to the Vice President of Clinical Operations. The role required technical expertise, project management experience, and leadership capabilities that could bridge clinical and administrative functions. Dr. Foster's description of position requirements aligned precisely with the combination of skills I had developed through laboratory experience, quality improvement, project management, and healthcare administration education. The opportunity represented exactly the kind of advancement that my systematic preparation had been designed to support. She explained that successful candidates would need demonstrated experience with quality improvement methodologies, familiarity with regulatory compliance requirements, and communication skills sufficient to work effectively with physicians, administrators, and support staff from diverse professional backgrounds. The position would involve oversight of hospital-wide quality initiatives, development of performance measurement systems, and coordination with external accreditation organizations that evaluated institutional compliance with industry standards. Success in this role could lead to further advancement within the healthcare system or provide credentials for executive positions at other institutions. Dr. Foster suggested that I consider applying for the position, noting that my combination of technical background, project management experience, and recent completion of healthcare administration education created strong qualifications for the responsibilities involved. Her encouragement carried particular weight, given her extensive experience evaluating candidates for healthcare management positions. The recommendation came from someone whose professional judgment had been validated through successful placement and development of administrative leaders throughout her career. The application process would require comprehensive documentation of professional experience, educational achievements, and project outcomes that demonstrated readiness for director-level responsibilities. Dr. Foster offered to provide guidance on application preparation and interview strategies that would effectively communicate qualifications to the selection committee. Her willingness to provide specific career guidance represented mentorship that extended beyond general encouragement to include practical assistance with advancement opportunities. The support came from someone who understood both the requirements for success in healthcare administration and the specific challenges faced by candidates transitioning from technical backgrounds. Over the following weeks, Dr. Foster scheduled regular meetings to discuss application development, interview preparation, and strategic career planning that would support long-term advancement goals. These sessions provided access to senior executive perspective that would have been impossible to obtain through traditional networking or academic programs. The mentorship relationship that emerged felt organic rather than forced, based on mutual professional respect and shared commitment to evidence-based healthcare improvement. Dr. Foster's investment in my development reflected recognition of potential rather than obligation or organizational requirement. Her guidance addressed specific aspects of executive communication, strategic thinking, and leadership presence that were essential for success in senior administrative roles, but were not typically taught in formal education programs. The insights came from years of experience observing what distinguished effective healthcare leaders from technically competent managers. Dr. Foster emphasized the importance of developing a comprehensive understanding of healthcare economics, regulatory environments, and industry trends that influenced strategic decision-making at executive levels. She recommended specific resources for staying current with developments that could affect operational planning and competitive positioning. Her mentorship also addressed work-life balance considerations that became increasingly important as professional responsibilities expanded. She shared strategies for managing competing demands while maintaining effectiveness in both professional and personal roles, drawing from her own experience as a working mother who had successfully navigated similar challenges. The conversation about balance felt particularly relevant given Emma's continuing academic success and my commitment to maintaining active involvement in her educational development. Dr. Foster's perspective provided reassurance that career advancement could coexist with effective parenting when priorities were clearly defined and systematically managed. Dr. Foster's encouragement extended to Emma's educational journey, recognizing that children benefited from observing parents who pursued growth and achievement through persistence and strategic planning. Her perspective reinforced my belief that professional advancement served as positive modeling, rather than competing with family responsibilities. The mentorship relationship provided access to professional networks that extended throughout the healthcare industry. Dr. Foster introduced me to other healthcare executives who offered additional perspectives on career development and advancement opportunities within the regional healthcare market. These expanded professional relationships created access to industry knowledge and potential collaboration opportunities that would have been difficult to develop independently. The connections emerged through Dr. Foster's recognition of my potential and willingness to facilitate networking that could support future advancement. The application for Director of Quality and Performance Improvement required comprehensive documentation of project outcomes, educational achievements, and professional development activities that demonstrated readiness for expanded responsibilities. Dr. Foster's guidance ensured that application materials effectively communicated qualifications and potential for success in the position. Her review of application documents provided feedback that strengthened presentation of technical experience, while emphasizing leadership capabilities and strategic thinking that distinguished management candidates from technical specialists. The guidance helped translate laboratory expertise into language that resonated with senior administrators who evaluated candidates for director-level positions. The interview preparation process included practice sessions that addressed common questions for healthcare management positions, while developing responses that effectively communicated vision for quality improvement initiatives and approach to leading cross-functional teams. Dr. Foster's feedback on interview preparation emphasized the importance of demonstrating strategic thinking that connected individual projects to broader organizational objectives. Her coaching helped develop responses that showed understanding of how quality improvement initiatives supported institutional goals for patient outcomes, operational efficiency, and competitive positioning. The mentorship relationship had evolved into comprehensive career development support that addressed immediate advancement opportunities while establishing foundation for long-term professional growth. Dr. Foster's investment in my success reflected recognition that effective mentorship produced benefits for both individuals and organizations through development of capable leadership pipeline. The interview process for Director of Quality and Performance Improvement represented the culmination of years of systematic preparation, yet nothing could have prepared me for the complexity of the evaluation or the intensity of scrutiny that accompanied consideration for senior administrative positions. The hospital's selection committee included Dr. Foster, Chief Medical Officer Dr. James Richardson, Chief Financial Officer Sandra Walsh, and Human Resources Director Michael Thompson, each bringing different perspectives on leadership requirements and organizational fit. The formal interview process extended across 3 sessions, scheduled over 2 weeks, allowing comprehensive evaluation of technical competence, management capabilities, and strategic vision that would guide quality improvement initiatives throughout the hospital system. The timeline provided opportunities for detailed preparation while creating sustained pressure that tested performance under extended evaluation. Dr. Foster's preliminary guidance proved invaluable for understanding committee dynamics and individual member priorities that would influence final selection decisions. Dr. Richardson prioritized clinical credibility and understanding of patient care processes. Sandra Walsh focused on cost-effectiveness and resource optimization. Michael Thompson emphasized leadership style and team development capabilities that would support successful change management. The first interview session addressed technical qualifications and project management experience through detailed discussion of laboratory quality improvement initiatives I had led over the previous 18 months. The committee requested specific examples of problem identification, solution development, implementation strategies, and outcome measurement that demonstrated systematic approach to organizational improvement. My presentation included comprehensive documentation of turnaround time reductions that had improved patient outcomes while generating cost savings exceeding $50,000 annually. The data encompassed statistical analysis of before and after comparisons, process flow diagrams that illustrated workflow improvements, and staff feedback surveys that confirmed sustainable adoption of new protocols. Dr. Richardson's questions focused on clinical impact and patient safety considerations that influenced quality improvement decisions. His inquiries revealed sophisticated understanding of laboratory operations and appreciation for systematic approaches that balanced efficiency gains with maintenance of testing accuracy and reliability. The discussion addressed specific challenges involved in changing established procedures while ensuring continuity of patient care during transition periods. My responses emphasized stakeholder engagement strategies that had secured physician support for protocol modifications while maintaining staff confidence in new procedures. Sandra Walsh's questions addressed cost-benefit analysis and resource allocation decisions that supported quality improvement investments. Her financial perspective required demonstration of quantitative analysis skills and understanding of budget management principles that would guide director-level responsibilities. The conversation included detailed examination of implementation costs, training expenses, and productivity improvements that justified initial investment in process modifications. My analysis demonstrated understanding of return on investment calculations and long-term financial planning that supported sustainable organizational development. Michael Thompson's inquiries focused on leadership approach and team development strategies that had motivated staff participation in quality improvement initiatives. His questions addressed change management techniques, communication methods, and conflict resolution skills that would prove essential for director-level responsibilities. My responses emphasized collaborative decision-making processes that had engaged frontline staff in solution development while maintaining accountability for project outcomes. The discussion included specific examples of resistance management and team-building activities that had transformed initial skepticism into enthusiastic support for procedural changes. The second interview session addressed strategic planning and organizational vision through case study analysis that required real-time problem-solving under committee observation. The exercise involved reviewing a complex operational challenge faced by a hypothetical healthcare facility and developing comprehensive improvement recommendations within specified time constraints. The case study described a multi-department coordination problem affecting patient flow, resource utilization, and staff satisfaction across emergency services, surgical units, and diagnostic departments. The scenario required integration of clinical knowledge, financial analysis, and change management principles to develop solutions that addressed root causes rather than symptoms of organizational dysfunction. My approach emphasized systematic analysis that began with stakeholder mapping to identify all parties affected by current processes and potential improvements. The framework included data collection strategies, performance measurement criteria, and implementation timelines that would ensure sustainable solutions while minimizing disruption to patient care. The committee's evaluation focused on analytical methodology, strategic thinking, and communication effectiveness that would be required for director-level problem-solving. Their questions tested understanding of organizational complexity and ability to balance competing priorities while maintaining focus on patient outcomes and operational efficiency. Dr. Foster's assessment acknowledged the comprehensiveness of my analytical approach while challenging specific implementation details that could affect feasibility and sustainability. Her questions revealed the sophisticated thinking required for translating strategic vision into practical action plans that could be executed within realistic resource constraints. The case study exercise demonstrated the intellectual demands of healthcare administration while providing opportunities to showcase capabilities developed through combination of technical experience, academic preparation, and practical project management. The performance under observation validated readiness for expanded responsibilities while revealing areas requiring continued development. The third interview session addressed leadership philosophy and organizational culture development through discussion of vision for quality improvement initiatives that would position Memorial Hospital as a regional leader in patient outcomes and operational excellence. The conversation required articulation of long-term strategic goals and specific approaches for achieving measurable improvements. My presentation outlined a comprehensive quality management framework that integrated evidence-based practices, continuous improvement methodologies, and staff development programs designed to create sustainable culture change throughout the organization. The vision emphasized systematic measurement, transparent communication, and collaborative problem-solving that would engage all departments in quality enhancement efforts. The committee's questions addressed implementation challenges and resource requirements that would support system-wide quality initiatives. Their inquiries tested understanding of organizational change management and ability to develop strategies that could overcome predictable resistance while maintaining momentum for improvement efforts. Dr. Richardson's questions focused on physician engagement strategies that would secure clinical leadership support for quality initiatives. His perspective emphasized the importance of credible clinical knowledge and collaborative approach that respected physician autonomy while promoting evidence-based practice standards. My responses addressed the necessity of involving physicians in solution development while providing data-driven feedback that demonstrated the effectiveness of quality improvement initiatives. The discussion emphasized mutual respect and shared commitment to patient outcomes that would motivate voluntary participation in organizational improvement efforts. Sandra Walsh's inquiries addressed budget implications and cost-effectiveness measures that would justify investment in quality improvement programs. Her financial perspective required demonstration of quantitative analysis capabilities and understanding of return on investment calculations that would support resource allocation decisions. The conversation included detailed discussion of quality improvement economics, including prevention cost analysis, liability reduction benefits, and competitive advantage creation that justified systematic investment in organizational development initiatives. My analysis demonstrated sophisticated understanding of healthcare finance and strategic planning. Michael Thompson's questions addressed staff development and training programs that would build organizational capacity for sustained quality improvement. His focus on human resources development required articulation of comprehensive professional development strategies that would enhance employee capabilities while improving job satisfaction and retention. My responses emphasized mentorship programs, cross-training initiatives, and recognition systems that would create positive reinforcement for quality improvement participation while developing internal expertise that reduced dependence on external consulting services. The interview process concluded with committee deliberation that extended over 1 week, while members evaluated candidates and reached consensus on final selection. Dr. Foster provided informal feedback indicating strong committee support for my candidacy, while acknowledging the competitive nature of the selection process and high standards required for director-level appointments. The waiting period created opportunity for reflection on the interview experience and assessment of performance under intense scrutiny. The process had tested every aspect of preparation while revealing the sophisticated demands of healthcare administration that extended far beyond technical competence to include strategic thinking, leadership capabilities, and organizational development skills. Emma's support during this stressful period demonstrated remarkable maturity and understanding of the significance these advancement opportunities held for our future security and possibilities. Her encouragement and confidence in my capabilities provided emotional stability that enabled optimal performance during the evaluation process. Mrs. Chen's continued assistance with childcare and household responsibilities allowed complete focus on interview preparation and professional responsibilities without compromising Emma's care or academic support. Her investment in our success reflected the authentic community relationships that had developed through mutual assistance and shared values. The notification call from Dr. Foster arrived on a Friday afternoon, delivered with professional formality that initially obscured the positive outcome before her congratulations revealed successful selection for the Director of Quality and Performance Improvement position. The appointment would become effective within 2 weeks, allowing time for transition planning and preparation for expanded responsibilities. The advancement represented validation of systematic preparation and strategic career development that had transformed laboratory technician qualifications into director-level capabilities through persistent education, practical experience, and mentorship guidance. The promotion exceeded even optimistic expectations for career advancement within healthcare administration. The salary increase accompanying the promotion provided significant improvement in financial security that would enhance Emma's educational opportunities while reducing stress associated with budgeting constraints. The advancement also created foundation for continued professional growth within healthcare administration and potential advancement to executive-level positions. Dr. Foster's expression of confidence in my potential for success in the director role provided reassurance about capability for handling expanded responsibilities while acknowledging the learning curve associated with transition from technical work to administrative leadership. Her continued mentorship would support navigation of new challenges and continued professional development. The success in securing director-level appointment demonstrated that systematic preparation could create opportunities for advancement that transcended background limitations or family expectations. The achievement validated belief in individual potential, while providing evidence that persistent effort could overcome initial disadvantages through strategic skill development and performance excellence. The first real test had been passed through demonstration of comprehensive qualifications that combined technical expertise, analytical capabilities, leadership skills, and strategic vision required for healthcare administration. The success created platform for continued advancement while establishing credibility within the professional community that recognized competence and potential for continued growth. The transition into the Director of Quality and Performance Improvement position began with systematic assessment of existing quality programs across Memorial Hospital's 17 departments, revealing organizational challenges that had not been apparent during the interview process. The comprehensive review exposed fragmented improvement efforts, inconsistent measurement systems, and resistance to change that would require sophisticated leadership strategies to address effectively. The initial departmental meetings revealed varying levels of commitment to quality improvement initiatives among department heads who had different priorities, resource constraints, and philosophical approaches to organizational change. Some leaders embraced systematic improvement methodologies, while others viewed quality initiatives as administrative burdens that interfered with clinical responsibilities and operational efficiency. Dr. Patricia Williams, Director of Emergency Services, expressed immediate skepticism about hospital-wide quality improvement coordination, arguing that emergency department operations required flexibility and rapid response capabilities that could not accommodate standardized protocols or measurement systems designed for predictable clinical environments. Her concerns reflected legitimate operational realities, while highlighting communication challenges that would need to be addressed through collaborative problem-solving rather than administrative mandate. The emergency department's unique requirements demanded customized approaches that balanced quality improvement objectives with operational necessities. Nursing Director Linda Rodriguez presented different challenges related to staff shortages and turnover rates that limited capacity for implementing new procedures or participating in additional training programs. Her department faced chronic understaffing that made additional responsibilities seem unrealistic regardless of potential long-term benefits. The nursing shortage represented a system-wide challenge affecting patient care, employee satisfaction, and operational costs throughout the hospital. Quality improvement initiatives would need to address staffing concerns while demonstrating measurable benefits that justified additional time investments from overworked clinical staff. Surgical Services Director Michael Chen raised concerns about quality measurement systems that might not accurately reflect the complexity of surgical outcomes or the multiple variables that influenced patient recovery beyond procedural technique. His perspective emphasized the importance of developing meaningful metrics that provided actionable information rather than superficial performance indicators. The challenge of measuring surgical quality required sophisticated understanding of risk adjustment, outcome attribution, and statistical analysis that could distinguish between procedural excellence and patient factors beyond clinical control. Developing valid measurement systems would require extensive collaboration with surgical staff and statistical expertise. The most significant obstacle emerged during the third week in the position when Chief Financial Officer Sandra Walsh informed me that budget constraints would limit quality improvement initiatives to activities that generated immediate cost savings or revenue increases, rather than long-term organizational development investments. The financial restrictions represented fundamental challenge to comprehensive quality improvement that typically required upfront investment in training, technology, and process redesign before measurable benefits could be realized. The constraint demanded creative approaches that could demonstrate rapid return on investment while building foundation for sustained improvement. Sandra's concerns reflected realistic institutional pressures in healthcare environments, where reimbursement reductions and competitive market conditions created constant pressure to minimize expenses while maintaining service quality. The financial reality required strategic prioritization of improvement initiatives that could survive budget scrutiny. The budget limitations forced comprehensive reassessment of quality improvement strategies, emphasizing low-cost interventions that could produce measurable outcomes within quarterly reporting periods. This approach contradicted best practices for organizational development that emphasized systematic culture change over extended timeframes. Simultaneously, regulatory compliance issues emerged when the Joint Commission announced an unscheduled accreditation survey that would evaluate hospital performance across multiple quality domains, including patient safety, infection control, medication management, and emergency preparedness. The survey represented potential threat to hospital accreditation status if significant deficiencies were identified. The Joint Commission survey timeline provided only 6 weeks for comprehensive preparation and remediation of identified compliance gaps. The compressed schedule required mobilization of resources across all departments while maintaining normal operational responsibilities and patient care standards. Initial compliance assessment revealed documentation deficiencies in several clinical areas, outdated policies that did not reflect current practice standards, and training gaps among staff members who were responsible for implementing safety protocols. The deficiencies were correctable, but required immediate attention and systematic remediation efforts. Dr. Foster scheduled emergency meetings to coordinate survey preparation while emphasizing that successful accreditation was essential for maintaining hospital reputation, Medicare reimbursement, and competitive positioning within the regional healthcare market. The stakes elevated pressure on quality improvement initiatives while limiting time available for strategic planning. The survey preparation revealed additional challenges when infection control data indicated rising rates of hospital-acquired infections in 2 clinical units, creating patient safety concerns that required immediate investigation and corrective action. The trend threatened both accreditation status and institutional reputation if not addressed effectively. The infection control investigation required collaboration with epidemiology consultants, laboratory analysis of bacterial cultures, and systematic review of clinical practices that might have contributed to increased infection rates. The complexity demanded expertise beyond typical quality improvement methodologies. Dr. Sarah Martinez, the infection control officer, identified multiple contributing factors including inadequate hand hygiene compliance, inconsistent environmental cleaning procedures, and antibiotic prescribing practices that may have contributed to resistant organism development. The multifactorial causes required comprehensive intervention strategies. The infection control remediation plan required immediate implementation of enhanced monitoring systems, additional staff training, and policy modifications that would reduce transmission risks while maintaining efficient patient care workflows. The intervention needed to demonstrate measurable improvement within weeks rather than months. Staffing challenges complicated infection control efforts when 3 key nursing positions remained unfilled in the affected clinical units, creating workload pressures that compromised adherence to safety protocols during busy periods. The staffing shortage represented a systemic problem that extended beyond infection control to affect multiple quality indicators. The nursing shortage required immediate temporary staffing solutions while addressing longer-term recruitment and retention strategies that could ensure adequate coverage for quality improvement initiatives. The personnel challenges highlighted interconnected nature of operational problems that required comprehensive rather than isolated solutions. Emma's academic responsibilities added complexity to professional demands when her gifted program teacher requested parent conferences to discuss advanced placement options that would require additional time commitments for educational planning and support activities. The timing created competing priorities between professional crisis management and parental responsibilities. Mrs. Patterson explained that Emma's exceptional academic performance qualified her for participation in regional academic competitions that could provide scholarship opportunities for future educational advancement. The opportunities required parental involvement in preparation activities and transportation to competition venues throughout the state. The conflict between professional demands and parental responsibilities created stress that tested time management capabilities and decision-making priorities during already challenging period of organizational crisis management. The situation required careful balance between career advancement and family obligations. Dr. Foster provided support during this period by acknowledging the legitimate competing demands, while emphasizing that effective leaders often faced similar challenges that required strategic priority setting and delegation of responsibilities where possible. Her perspective offered reassurance about managing complex professional and personal obligations. The Joint Commission survey preparation intensified when preliminary documentation review revealed additional compliance concerns related to medication administration protocols and emergency response procedures that required immediate attention from multiple departments simultaneously. The medication safety issues involved documentation practices that did not meet current regulatory standards, requiring rapid retraining of nursing staff and implementation of new verification procedures that would ensure patient safety while satisfying accreditation requirements. Emergency preparedness deficiencies included outdated evacuation procedures and insufficient staff training in disaster response protocols that could affect hospital operations during regional emergencies. The remediation required comprehensive training programs and system-wide drills to validate preparedness capabilities. The compliance challenges revealed the complexity of healthcare regulation and the sophisticated management capabilities required to maintain accreditation while pursuing quality improvement initiatives. The experience demonstrated that director-level responsibilities involved crisis management and regulatory compliance, in addition to strategic planning and organizational development. Budget constraints intensified when Sandra Walsh announced that overtime expenses for survey preparation could not exceed allocated limits, requiring creative scheduling solutions that would ensure adequate coverage for preparation activities while controlling personnel costs. The financial restrictions demanded innovative approaches to staff deployment and volunteer coordination that could accomplish necessary preparation within budget parameters. The challenge required leadership skills that had not been tested during previous quality improvement projects. Community volunteer coordination became essential when retired healthcare professionals offered assistance with survey preparation activities, providing expertise in labor that supplemented hospital staff capabilities while reducing overtime expenses. The volunteer coordination required development of training programs, supervision systems, and liability management procedures that could effectively utilize community resources while maintaining quality standards and regulatory compliance. Professional relationships with other healthcare quality directors provided valuable guidance during crisis management when colleagues shared strategies and resources that had proven effective during their own accreditation challenges. The network support demonstrated the value of industry connections for problem solving. The peer consultation revealed that accreditation challenges were common experiences that tested leadership capabilities while providing learning opportunities that enhanced professional development. The perspective offered encouragement about navigating current difficulties while building expertise for future advancement. Emma's understanding and support during this intensely demanding period demonstrated remarkable maturity and adaptability that allowed complete focus on professional responsibilities without compromising family relationships or her educational needs. Mrs. Chen's expanded assistance with household responsibilities and childcare coordination enabled extended work hours and weekend preparation activities that would have been impossible without reliable support systems. The obstacle period revealed that director-level responsibilities involved managing multiple simultaneous crises while maintaining strategic focus on long-term organizational objectives. The experience provided accelerated learning about healthcare administration realities and leadership requirements under adverse conditions. The convergence of multiple organizational crises required mobilization of support resources that extended far beyond formal hospital hierarchies and traditional professional relationships. The complexity of managing Joint Commission preparation, infection control remediation, budget constraints, and departmental resistance demanded collaborative approaches that leveraged diverse expertise and shared commitment to institutional success. Dr. Foster's leadership during this period demonstrated the sophisticated coordination required for crisis management in healthcare environments. Her approach emphasized systematic delegation of responsibilities while maintaining oversight that ensured consistent standards and coordinated implementation across multiple improvement initiatives simultaneously. The emergency response team that emerged included clinical directors, administrative managers, infection control specialists, and quality improvement coordinators whose collective expertise addressed different aspects of the comprehensive challenge. The team structure provided specialized knowledge while enabling efficient communication and decision-making under time pressure. Weekly coordination meetings brought together department representatives who shared progress updates, identified emerging challenges, and developed collaborative solutions that addressed interdepartmental dependencies and resource allocation requirements. The systematic communication prevented duplication of efforts while ensuring comprehensive coverage of all accreditation domains. Dr. Martinez, the infection control officer, provided technical expertise that guided evidence-based interventions for reducing hospital-acquired infection rates while maintaining operational efficiency. Her clinical background and epidemiological training offered credible leadership for implementing complex safety protocols that required staff behavior modifications. The infection control remediation strategy emphasized education and engagement rather than punitive enforcement, recognizing that sustainable improvement required voluntary compliance based on understanding rather than fear-based adherence to regulations. The approach fostered collaborative problem-solving while maintaining accountability for safety outcomes. Nursing Director Linda Rodriguez became an essential partner in implementing quality improvement initiatives, despite initial concerns about resource limitations and staffing constraints. Her cooperation emerged through collaborative development of solutions that addressed nursing workforce challenges while supporting institutional quality objectives. The nursing partnership included development of peer mentorship programs that utilized experienced staff members to train newer employees in quality improvement protocols, while providing professional development opportunities that enhanced job satisfaction and retention rates. The approach addressed staffing concerns while building internal capacity for sustained improvement. Pharmacy Director Dr. James Park contributed expertise in medication safety protocols that supported infection control efforts while ensuring compliance with Joint Commission medication management standards. His participation demonstrated the interconnected nature of quality improvement initiatives that required coordination across multiple clinical domains. The medication safety improvements included implementation of electronic verification systems that reduced administration errors while providing documentation that satisfied regulatory requirements. The technology investment required budget coordination but generated cost savings through error prevention and efficiency improvements. Environmental Services Director Maria Santos provided operational support for infection control through enhanced cleaning protocols and staff training programs that addressed environmental factors contributing to transmission risks. Her department's cooperation proved essential for implementing comprehensive infection prevention strategies. The environmental improvements included systematic monitoring of cleaning effectiveness, implementation of specialized disinfection procedures for high-risk areas, and development of rapid response protocols for contamination incidents. The enhancements required additional training and supplies but produced measurable improvements in environmental safety. Community partnerships emerged when local healthcare organizations offered resource sharing and expertise consultation that supported Memorial Hospital's preparation efforts while building regional collaboration networks. The partnerships demonstrated that institutional success could benefit from cooperative rather than competitive relationships. Regional Medical Center Director Dr. Susan Thompson provided guidance based on recent Joint Commission survey experience, sharing strategies and resources that had proven effective during their accreditation process. The consultation offered practical insights that supplemented formal preparation materials with real-world implementation advice. Professional associations provided additional support through access to regulatory updates, best practice guidelines, and expert consultation that enhanced preparation effectiveness while building connections within the broader healthcare quality improvement community. The American Hospital Association's quality improvement resources included webinar training sessions, documentation templates, and peer networking opportunities that supported comprehensive preparation while providing continuing education credits for staff members participating in improvement initiatives. Academic partnerships with State University's Healthcare Administration program offered graduate student assistance with data analysis, project coordination, and documentation activities that supplemented hospital staff capabilities while providing educational experiences for future healthcare administrators. The student partnerships included development of systematic measurement tools, statistical analysis of outcome data, and preparation of presentation materials that supported accreditation survey preparation, while building relationships with emerging healthcare professionals who could provide future collaboration opportunities. Technology support emerged through partnerships with software vendors who provided temporary access to advanced quality measurement systems that enabled comprehensive data collection and analysis during the survey preparation period. The technology access demonstrated potential for future system upgrades while supporting immediate needs. The data management capabilities included real-time dashboard monitoring of quality indicators, automated reporting systems that reduced manual documentation requirements, and statistical analysis tools that provided sophisticated outcome measurement and trend identification. Emma's continued academic success during this intensely demanding period provided personal motivation while demonstrating that professional crisis management could coexist with effective parenting when support systems were properly coordinated and family priorities remained clearly defined. Mrs. Patterson's reports indicated that Emma maintained exceptional performance in the gifted education program while adapting to modified home routines that accommodated extended work schedules and weekend hospital responsibilities. Her resilience validated decisions about career advancement while reinforcing commitment to providing educational opportunities. Mrs. Chin's expanded role during crisis management included coordination with Emma's school activities, supervision of homework completion, and maintenance of household routines that enabled complete focus on professional responsibilities without compromising family stability or child welfare. The enhanced support arrangements demonstrated the importance of reliable community relationships that could provide assistance during demanding periods while fostering mutual assistance networks that benefited all participants through shared resources and collaborative problem-solving. Professional development opportunities emerged during crisis management, when the complexity of challenges required rapid skill acquisition in areas including regulatory compliance, crisis communication, and multi-departmental coordination that enhanced capabilities beyond initial director-level qualifications. The accelerated learning included participation in emergency management training, regulatory compliance certification, and leadership development workshops that provided formal credentials while building expertise through practical application during high-stakes situations. Industry networking expanded through participation in healthcare quality improvement conferences, where current challenges provided relevant context for presentations and discussions, with peers facing similar organizational pressures and regulatory requirements. The conference participation included presentation of preliminary results from infection control interventions, demonstrating institutional commitment to quality improvement while building professional reputation within the healthcare quality community. Mentorship relationships multiplied when experienced quality directors from other institutions offered guidance and resource sharing that supported specific aspects of survey preparation, while building long-term professional connections that could provide ongoing consultation and collaboration opportunities. Dr. Patricia Williams from Regional Medical Center became a particularly valuable advisor whose emergency department quality improvement experience provided insights about managing clinical staff engagement and resistance during intensive improvement initiatives. Volunteer coordination expanded beyond retired healthcare professionals to include community organizations that provided administrative support, data entry assistance, and logistics coordination that supplemented hospital staff capabilities, while demonstrating community investment in institutional success. The volunteer program included systematic training, supervision, and recognition systems that ensured effective contribution while building community relationships that could support future quality improvement initiatives and emergency response capabilities. Budget optimization strategies emerged through collaborative resource sharing that reduced preparation costs while maintaining quality standards. The approaches included equipment loans, shared training resources, and coordinated purchasing that achieved economies of scale while building interinstitutional relationships. The cost reduction initiatives included negotiation of group training rates, shared consultant services, and cooperative purchasing agreements that reduced individual institutional expenses while building regional healthcare improvement networks. Staff recognition programs acknowledged exceptional contributions during crisis management while building morale and commitment that would support sustained quality improvement beyond immediate survey requirements. The recognition included both formal awards and informal appreciation that reinforced positive performance. The recognition systems included peer nomination processes, leadership acknowledgement, and public celebration of achievements that created positive reinforcement for quality improvement participation, while building institutional culture that valued excellence and continuous improvement. Joint Commission preparation evolved into comprehensive organizational development that addressed systemic challenges while building capabilities that would support long-term quality improvement beyond immediate accreditation requirements. The crisis had catalyzed improvements that might not have occurred under normal circumstances. The systematic improvements included policy updates, training program enhancements, technology upgrades, and communication system improvements that created foundation for sustained organizational excellence, while demonstrating the positive potential of crisis-driven change management. The systematic implementation of quality improvement initiatives began producing measurable results that validated the strategic approach while building institutional confidence in comprehensive organizational change. The evidence-based outcomes provided concrete documentation of progress that supported continued investment in improvement activities while demonstrating the effectiveness of collaborative leadership during crisis management. Hospital-acquired infection rates decreased by 37% within 6 weeks of implementing enhanced protocols, representing the most significant improvement in patient safety metrics recorded in Memorial Hospital's recent history. The reduction exceeded targets established during crisis planning, while creating positive momentum for additional quality improvement initiatives. Dr. Martinez's infection control data revealed that hand hygiene compliance had increased from 68% to 94% through systematic education and monitoring programs. The behavioral change demonstrated that staff engagement could produce sustainable improvement when supported by clear expectations and positive reinforcement rather than punitive enforcement. Environmental cleaning effectiveness improved measurably through implementation of systematic monitoring and enhanced training protocols. The environmental services improvements contributed to infection reduction while demonstrating that operational excellence could be achieved through coordinated departmental collaboration and shared accountability for patient safety outcomes. Medication administration error rates declined by 42% following implementation of electronic verification systems and enhanced training protocols. The reduction represented significant improvement in patient safety while generating cost savings through prevention of adverse events and associated treatment expenses. The medication safety improvements validated technology investments while demonstrating that systematic process improvement could address multiple quality domains simultaneously. The integrated approach produced compound benefits that exceeded isolated intervention outcomes, while building institutional capacity for continued advancement. Emergency department patient satisfaction scores increased substantially during the quality improvement period, reflecting reduced waiting times and enhanced communication protocols that improved patient experience while maintaining clinical effectiveness. The satisfaction improvements demonstrated that quality initiatives could benefit both operational efficiency and patient perception of care quality. Dr. Williams acknowledged that systematic quality improvement had addressed long-standing operational challenges while building departmental capacity for sustained excellence. Her initial skepticism about hospital-wide coordination had evolved into appreciation for collaborative approaches that addressed root causes rather than superficial symptoms of organizational dysfunction. Joint Commission survey preparation revealed comprehensive improvements across all evaluated domains, including patient safety, medication management, infection control, and emergency preparedness. The systematic preparation had addressed existing deficiencies while building organizational capabilities that exceeded minimum regulatory requirements. The accreditation survey team noted exceptional preparation and institutional commitment to quality improvement during preliminary assessment activities. Their feedback indicated that Memorial Hospital demonstrated best practices in several areas while maintaining consistent standards across all clinical departments and support services. Staff recognition programs generated positive response from employees who appreciated acknowledgement of exceptional contributions during intensive improvement periods. The recognition systems reinforced positive performance while building institutional culture that valued excellence and collaborative problem-solving over individual achievement or departmental competition. Nursing staff participation in quality improvement activities increased significantly when systematic recognition and professional development opportunities demonstrated institutional investment in employee growth and career advancement. The engagement created positive feedback loops that sustained improvement momentum beyond crisis-driven urgency. Budget analysis revealed that quality improvement initiatives had generated cost savings exceeding initial investment through reduced overtime expenses, decreased liability exposure, and improved operational efficiency. The financial outcomes validated strategic investment in systematic improvement while providing evidence for continued resource allocation. Sandra Walsh acknowledged that quality improvement had produced measurable return on investment while building organizational capabilities that would support long-term competitive advantage and financial sustainability. Her initial concerns about resource allocation had been addressed through demonstrated results that balanced cost control with strategic development. Regional healthcare network leadership recognized Memorial Hospital's quality improvement achievements through formal acknowledgement and requests for consultation with other facilities implementing similar initiatives. The external recognition validated institutional excellence while creating opportunities for expanded responsibilities and industry leadership. Dr. Foster received invitation to present quality improvement methodologies at regional healthcare conferences, providing professional recognition while positioning Memorial Hospital as industry leader in systematic organizational development. The speaking opportunities created professional advancement possibilities while enhancing institutional reputation. Academic partnerships with State University's Healthcare Administration program expanded through requests for continued collaboration on quality improvement research and graduate student internship programs. The academic relationships provided ongoing access to analytical resources while supporting workforce development for future healthcare administrators. The university partnership included development of case studies based on Memorial Hospital's quality improvement experience that would be used in graduate education programs. The documentation created lasting institutional legacy while contributing to healthcare administration knowledge base for future professionals. Community recognition emerged through media coverage of quality improvement achievements and patient safety improvements that enhanced Memorial Hospital's reputation within the regional healthcare market. The positive publicity supported patient volume and physician recruitment while building community confidence in institutional excellence. Local business organizations acknowledged Memorial Hospital's systematic improvement approach as model for organizational development that could be adapted across different industries. The recognition created opportunities for consultation and speaking engagements that expanded professional networks while generating additional revenue streams. Professional certifications in quality improvement and patient safety became available through completion of systematic training programs implemented during crisis management. The credentials enhanced individual qualifications while building institutional expertise that supported continued advancement and external recognition. The certification achievements included Joint Commission surveyor training, infection control specialist credentials, and healthcare quality management certifications that positioned staff members for career advancement while building internal capacity for ongoing improvement initiatives. Technology implementations during quality improvement period established foundation for advanced data analytics and performance monitoring systems that would support continued organizational development. The technology infrastructure created capabilities for real-time performance tracking and predictive analysis that exceeded typical hospital information systems. The data management systems enabled comprehensive outcome measurement and trend analysis that supported evidence-based decision-making while providing documentation for regulatory compliance and accreditation maintenance. The analytical capabilities created competitive advantages while reducing administrative burden. Patient outcome improvements extended beyond infection reduction to include decreased length of stay, reduced readmission rates, and enhanced clinical effectiveness across multiple service lines. The comprehensive improvements demonstrated that systematic quality improvement could produce broad organizational benefits while maintaining focus on patient care excellence. Clinical outcome data revealed measurable improvements in treatment effectiveness, patient satisfaction, and resource utilization that validated integrated approach to quality improvement. The results exceeded expectations while building institutional confidence in continued investment in systematic organizational development. Staff retention rates improved significantly during quality improvement period through enhanced professional development opportunities, systematic recognition programs, and increased employee engagement in institutional success. The retention improvements reduced recruitment costs while building experienced workforce capacity. The employee satisfaction surveys indicated increased job satisfaction, professional pride, and commitment to institutional excellence that supported sustained improvement beyond crisis-driven initiatives. The cultural changes created foundation for continued organizational development while reducing turnover-related expenses. Physician engagement in quality improvement activities increased substantially when systematic measurement and feedback demonstrated clinical effectiveness and patient safety improvements. The physician participation created clinical leadership for continued improvement, while building professional satisfaction and institutional loyalty. Medical staff surveys revealed enhanced confidence in hospital operations, improved communication with administration, and increased satisfaction with resource allocation decisions that supported clinical excellence. The physician engagement validated collaborative leadership approaches while building medical staff stability. Training program effectiveness became apparent through systematic competency assessment and performance measurement that demonstrated staff capability enhancement across multiple clinical and administrative domains. The training investments produced measurable skill development while building organizational capacity for complex challenges. The competency improvements included enhanced analytical thinking, systematic problem-solving, and collaborative leadership skills that position staff members for career advancement while building institutional capability for continued organizational development and industry leadership. Quality improvement methodologies implemented during crisis management became integrated into routine hospital operations through systematic documentation and staff training that ensured sustained application beyond immediate challenges. The process integration created institutional capability for continued excellence. The systematic approaches included regular performance monitoring, continuous improvement protocols, and proactive problem identification that prevented crisis development while maintaining high standards for patient care and operational effectiveness. The integration demonstrated that crisis-driven improvements could become permanent organizational capabilities. External consultation requests emerged from other healthcare organizations seeking guidance on systematic quality improvement implementation and crisis management strategies. The consultation opportunities provided additional revenue while building professional reputation and industry leadership positioning. The consultation activities included development of training materials, process documentation, and implementation guidelines that could be adapted across different healthcare environments. The knowledge transfer created lasting impact while generating ongoing professional development opportunities and industry recognition. The success of Memorial Hospital's quality improvement initiatives attracted attention from the Regional Healthcare Consortium, a multi-state organization responsible for coordinating quality standards and operational efficiency across 47 member institutions. Dr. Margaret Foster received formal invitation to present our systematic improvement methodologies at the annual Consortium Leadership Conference. Recognition that positioned Memorial Hospital as an industry model for evidence-based organizational development. The consortium presentation opportunity represented professional advancement beyond regional recognition to national healthcare industry leadership. The platform would provide exposure to senior executives from major medical centers, while establishing credentials for executive-level positions within healthcare systems across multiple states. Dr. Foster approached me with an unexpected proposition during our weekly strategic planning meeting. The consortium had specifically requested detailed case study analysis of our infection control and quality improvement integration, along with implementation guidance that could be adapted across diverse institutional environments. She recommended that I serve as co-presenter for the conference, sharing operational expertise while she addressed strategic leadership perspectives. The co-presentation opportunity exceeded any advancement possibility I had previously imagined within healthcare administration. Speaking at the consortium conference would establish national professional recognition while demonstrating expertise that could support executive-level career advancement at institutions throughout the healthcare industry. The invitation required comprehensive preparation, including development of presentation materials, statistical analysis, documentation, and implementation methodology guides that would serve as resources for other healthcare organizations. The scope demanded sophisticated understanding of quality improvement science, combined with practical knowledge of change management in complex institutional environments. Preparation timeline provided 6 weeks for developing presentation content while maintaining current responsibilities for Memorial Hospital quality improvement oversight. The dual demands tested project management capabilities while requiring sustained performance across multiple competing priorities simultaneously. The consortium conference agenda revealed the caliber of healthcare leadership who would comprise the audience. Chief executive officers from major medical centers, regional healthcare system presidents, and senior quality improvement directors, whose institutional responsibilities encompassed hundreds of thousands of patients annually, would evaluate presentation effectiveness and professional credibility. The audience sophistication demanded presentation quality that exceeded typical hospital administrative meetings or regional conference standards. The content needed to demonstrate both theoretical understanding and practical implementation expertise while providing actionable guidance for diverse institutional environments and organizational cultures. Research for presentation development required comprehensive analysis of quality improvement literature, regulatory guidance documents, and best practice frameworks from leading healthcare organizations. The academic foundation needed to support practical recommendations while establishing credibility with senior executives whose decision-making influenced industry standards. Statistical analysis of Memorial Hospital outcomes required sophisticated data management and presentation techniques that could communicate complex results effectively while maintaining accuracy and scientific rigor. The analytical work demanded expertise beyond typical healthcare administration requirements, while creating documentation that could support peer review and publication opportunities. Emma's academic schedule during this period included preparation for state-level gifted education competitions that required parental involvement in practice sessions and transportation to preliminary events. The timing created challenging coordination requirements between professional preparation and family responsibilities that tested priority management under pressure. Mrs. Patterson emphasized the significance of these academic competitions for Emma's future educational opportunities, including potential scholarship consideration for specialized summer programs and early admission pathways to accelerated academic tracks. The long-term benefits justified temporary schedule complexity while maintaining commitment to Emma's intellectual development. Mrs. Chen's support expanded to include coordination with Emma's competition preparation schedule, while maintaining household routines that accommodated extended work hours required for consortium presentation development. Her flexibility and understanding enabled complete focus on professional preparation without compromising family obligations or child supervision requirements. The presentation development process revealed gaps in knowledge about quality improvement implementation across different institutional types and sizes. Healthcare organizations varied significantly in resources, regulatory requirements, and operational constraints that influenced the applicability of improvement methodologies developed at Memorial Hospital. Comprehensive research required consultation with quality improvement directors from rural hospitals, academic medical centers, specialty facilities, and community hospitals whose operational realities differed substantially from Memorial Hospital's circumstances. The comparative analysis enhanced understanding of systematic approaches while building professional relationships throughout the healthcare industry. Dr. Foster's mentorship during presentation preparation proved invaluable for understanding audience expectations and communication strategies that would resonate with senior healthcare executives. Her experience with national conference presentations provided guidance about content organization, time management, and audience engagement techniques that enhanced presentation effectiveness. The mentorship included detailed review of presentation materials, with feedback about statistical presentation methods, implementation guidance clarity, and strategic messaging that would position quality improvement initiatives as essential business strategies rather than regulatory compliance activities. Technology requirements for consortium presentation exceeded typical conference standards, demanding sophisticated audiovisual integration and interactive demonstration capabilities that would maintain audience engagement while communicating complex information effectively. The technical preparation required coordination with professional presentation consultants and equipment specialists. Presentation rehearsals included practice sessions with Memorial Hospital leadership, who provided feedback about content clarity, pacing, and audience interaction strategies. The rehearsal process refined messaging while building confidence for presenting complex technical information to senior executive audiences. Dr. Williams participated in presentation review, contributing clinical perspective that enhanced credibility with physician executives who would evaluate quality improvement methodologies for potential implementation at their institutions. Her endorsement carried particular weight given her initial skepticism about systematic quality improvement coordination. Budget approval for consortium conference participation required detailed justification of professional development benefits and potential return on investment through enhanced institutional reputation and networking opportunities. Sandra Walsh supported the investment based on documented quality improvement outcomes and potential for establishing Memorial Hospital as industry leader. The financial analysis included consideration of presentation development costs, travel expenses, and professional development benefits that could support future advancement opportunities and institutional recognition. The investment represented strategic professional development rather than routine conference attendance. Professional wardrobe considerations for consortium presentation required investment in executive-level business attire that would project appropriate credibility and professionalism when addressing senior healthcare industry leadership. The appearance standards reflected audience expectations while supporting effective communication and professional recognition. The consortium conference location at the National Healthcare Leadership Center in Chicago represented premier venue for healthcare industry events, hosting annual gatherings of senior executives whose decisions influenced healthcare delivery for millions of patients across multiple states and healthcare systems. Travel arrangements included advance arrival for presentation setup and technical rehearsal sessions that would ensure optimal performance during actual presentation delivery. The preparation time enabled adjustment to venue specifications while managing presentation anxiety through thorough technical verification. Conference agenda review revealed the competitive environment among presenters who represented leading healthcare institutions throughout the region. The quality of concurrent presentations demanded exceptional preparation and delivery, while creating opportunities for professional networking with industry leaders who could influence future career advancement. Networking strategy development included identification of specific attendees whose professional backgrounds and institutional responsibilities aligned with potential collaboration or career advancement opportunities. The strategic approach maximized conference benefits while building relationships that could support long-term professional development. Dr. Foster's introduction to consortium leadership prior to presentation provided context about Memorial Hospital's quality improvement achievements, while establishing institutional credibility that enhanced presentation effectiveness. Her advocacy created positive predisposition among audience members who would evaluate content and presenter capabilities. The presentation structure required integration of theoretical frameworks with practical implementation guidance that would enable diverse healthcare organizations to adapt methodologies to their specific operational constraints and organizational cultures. The content needed to be simultaneously sophisticated and accessible while maintaining scientific rigor. Statistical presentation techniques required sophisticated data visualization that could communicate complex outcomes effectively while maintaining audience engagement throughout detailed analytical content. The visual presentation demanded professional graphic design that enhanced comprehension while supporting presentation flow and timing. Quality improvement case studies from Memorial Hospital required careful documentation that protected patient confidentiality while providing sufficient detail to demonstrate methodology effectiveness and implementation challenges. The balance between transparency and privacy required legal review and compliance verification. Implementation guidance development required systematic documentation of change management strategies, stakeholder engagement approaches, and outcome measurement techniques that could be adapted across different institutional environments. The methodology guides needed to provide practical direction while acknowledging organizational variation. The consortium presentation represented culmination of systematic professional development that had transformed laboratory technician qualifications into national healthcare industry recognition within 3 years. The advancement exceeded initial career aspirations while establishing foundation for executive-level opportunities throughout the healthcare industry. Presentation preparation deadline created intense pressure that tested all developed capabilities simultaneously while requiring sustained performance across multiple complex responsibilities. The challenge demanded integration of technical expertise, strategic thinking, communication skills, and professional presence that demonstrated readiness for senior leadership roles. Emma's understanding and support during this demanding preparation period reflected remarkable maturity and appreciation for the significance of professional advancement opportunities. Her encouragement provided motivation, while her adaptability enabled complete focus on presentation development without compromising family relationships or educational support. The consortium presentation delivery approached with mounting pressure that transformed theoretical preparation into irreversible professional commitment. The decision to accept national speaking responsibilities represented crossing a threshold from regional healthcare administration into industry leadership territory, where performance expectations and visibility would fundamentally alter career trajectory and professional identity. Dr. Foster scheduled final presentation rehearsal sessions at Memorial Hospital's executive conference room, recreating consortium venue conditions through professional audiovisual equipment and audience simulation that included senior medical staff and administrative leadership. The practice environment provided realistic assessment of presentation readiness, while identifying areas requiring additional refinement before national delivery. The rehearsal feedback revealed sophisticated audience expectations for content depth, statistical rigor, and implementation guidance that exceeded typical healthcare conference standards. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Richardson emphasized the importance of clinical credibility, while Chief Financial Officer Sandra Walsh stressed the necessity of demonstrating measurable return on investment that would justify quality improvement investments. The comprehensive feedback required substantial revision of presentation materials to address diverse stakeholder perspectives represented within consortium audience membership. The revisions demanded integration of clinical effectiveness data, financial impact analysis, and operational implementation guidance that could resonate with executives whose priorities encompassed patient outcomes, resource optimization, and organizational sustainability. Travel arrangements to Chicago required coordination with Emma's academic competition schedule and Mrs. Chen's availability for extended childcare responsibilities. The timing created additional complexity when Emma's state-level gifted education competition was scheduled for the weekend immediately following the consortium conference, requiring rapid transition between professional responsibilities and parental support duties. Mrs. Patterson confirmed that Emma's competition placement could influence scholarship opportunities and advanced academic program acceptance for the following year. The significance of her academic achievements paralleled the importance of consortium presentation success, creating dual pressure for optimal performance across both professional and family responsibilities. Up next, you've got 2 more standout stories right on your screen. If this one hit the mark, you won't want to pass these up. Just click and check them out. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any upload from us.